Four-game series. In the top of the first inning, Dave Steve starts out strong as he strikes out Ellis Burks to end the inning. Then in the bottom of the first, Toronto takes a 1-0 lead. Kelly Gruber hits a fly ball into right center field. The ball is caught out there by Burks, but Mookie Wilson scores from third base. So Toronto was ahead 1-0. For Gruber, that's RBI number 84. He is tied for third in the American League in RBIs. Now we move on to the bottom of the second inning where Tom Bolton settled down. He retired to side in order in the second, and he picked up his first strikeout of the game as he gets Glenn Allen Hill looking. The game settled into a pitcher's duel with Dave Steve continuing to throw a shutout. Here in the top of the fourth inning, he strikes out Tom Brunansky on a fastball to end the inning. Then in the bottom of the fourth, we'll see Bolton picking up another strikeout as he gets Fred McGriff swinging. In the top of the sixth inning, Boston had runners on first and second. You'll see Wade Boggs leading off of second base, and Kelly Gruber made a great play to save one, possibly two runs, as Tom Brunansky hit a line drive down to third. Gruber makes a great diving play, but can't double up Boggs at second. Then Mike Marshall came to the plate and knocks in Boggs anyway, as he lines a single into left field. Boggs scores from second, making the score 1-1, and that's how things stood in the sixth. In the bottom of the seventh inning, Toronto took a one-run lead. Mookie Wilson hit a single to right field that scored Glenn Allen Hill, making the score 2-1 Blue Jays. Then Tony Fernandez hit a ground rule double over the left center field wall. This scores Manny Lee, who was urging the ball to stay down so that another run could have scored. But Toronto then had a 3-1 lead. In the top of the eighth, Boston tied it up as Mike Greenwell hit a two-run shot to right field. This is his ninth home run of the year, and it gave him 47 RBIs. So the game was tied up at 3. Then in the bottom of the ninth inning, Joe Hesketh attempted to pick off Mookie Wilson at first base, but the throw got away and Wilson went all the way around to third base, so he was there with one out in the ninth. Then Kelly Gruber hit a ground ball down to third base. Wade Boggs threw home to try to get Wilson, but Wilson slid in safely, giving Toronto a 4-3 victory and pulling them to within one game of the Red Sox in the American League East. The final 4-3 Toronto, the winner Henke is 1-2, the loser Hesketh is 0-1.
I think that the only guy on that team that could have beat that play was Mookie Wilson, and he was on third. So it seems like he's always around when something's happening. It just reflects back to '86.
Thursday evening in San Francisco, Giants at home to take on the Phillies. Top of the first inning, Dale Murphy puts Philadelphia in front by the score of 1-0. Murphy with RBI 66 as he singles off of Kelly Downs into left field, scoring Darren Dalton as the Phillies go up by 1. Bottom of the first, and Philly pitcher Tommy Green walks the first three batters he faces, but all Kevin Mitchell can do is ground into this force out, scoring Brett Butler. We are tied at 1. Kelly Downs on first base now as Brett Butler singles into right. Downs showing why he should be pitching and not pinch running as he is tagged out, falling asleep there, trying to get back to second base by Dickie Thon. Take another look from Dale Murphy's perspective as there's Downs, not even aware that the ball's coming in. Before he does, it's too late. Top of the fourth now, and Downs back on the mound to face Lenny Dykstra, but he doesn't fare much better here. Dykstra up with two men on, and he will come up with this double into the left center field gap. Scoring on the play is Dickie Thon. Thon will be followed by David Hollins as the Phillies take a 3-1 lead. The Phillies bats, though, would cool off a little bit as Charlie Hayes shows the latest in winter glove wear. Heating up would be Ernest Riles in the San Francisco Giants. Riles coming to face Dennis Cook, and Riles hits his fourth pinch hit homer of the year. 7 homers altogether. He puts the Giants up 4-3. Cook had just entered the game, replacing Philadelphia starter Tommy Green. The Giants would make it 5-3 in the bottom of the fourth. Let's move now, though, to the bottom of the fifth. Matt Williams, the batter, and he will send one deep to the 400-foot mark in center field. But that's Lenny Dykstra making another one of his acrobatic catches as he goes to the wall to pull this one down. And if there was any doubt in anyone's mind that he was going to make the catch, Dykstra certainly didn't have any, as he shows you exactly where that ball went into his glove.
In Kansas City, that's Ken Griffey Jr. of the Seattle Mariners operating one of the TV cameras before the Royals game against the Mariners. In the top of the first inning, Kevin Apier gets Ken Griffey to ground into a 3-6-1 double play, as George Brett does a good job of starting that double play that ended the first inning. Now in the bottom of the first, Brett hits a double down the first baseline. This will score Kevin Seitzer and Jim Eisenreich and give Kansas City an early 2-0 lead. In the top of the fifth inning, Kansas City allowed one run to score under some unusual circumstances. First, we'll see Kurt Stillwell making a throwing error on a ball hit by Tino Martinez. Stillwell throws high, and then Martinez slides in under the tag of George Brett, who argued slightly with the first base umpire. On the next batter, Mike McFarland, the catcher for Kansas City, interfered with Edgar Martinez and touched the bat. He was awarded first base. That's an error to McFarland. Kevin Apier then hit Dave Valley with a pitch to load the bases. That brought Greg Briley to the plate, and Apier walked Briley, forcing in Martinez, making it 2-1 Kansas City in the fifth. After the two-run double by Brett in the first inning, Seattle starter Brian Holman didn't allow a hit until the seventh inning. He struck out the side in the fifth. There he gets Frank White, the second batter of the inning. But he was outdone in this one by Kevin Apier. Apier went 6+ innings, allowing one unearned run on 3 hits. Here we see him in the top of the fourth inning, striking out Greg Briley. In the bottom of the seventh inning, Mike McFarland lined a single to left field that scored Willie Wilson and Kurt Stillwell. That gave Kansas City a 4-1 lead, and 4-1 turned out to be the final. Jeff Montgomery came in to finish this one off. Here we'll see him in the top of the ninth inning, getting pinch hitter Pete O'Brien to ground out to Frank White, who was shifted way over into shallow right field. This was the last out of the game, the final 4-1 Kansas City. The winner is Apier. He's 10-4. The loser Holman is 11-10, while Montgomery picks up his 19th save.
Evening from the south side of Chicago, the White Sox host the California Angels. Pick it up in the top of the second inning. This is Lee Stevens losing control of his bat. Then in the top of the third inning, with the White Sox leading 1-0, Brian Downing grounds a single to right field, scoring Dick Schofield, but Luis Polonia is tagged out at the plate by Carlton Fisk, but the score was tied 1-1 after this play. RBI number 43 for Downing. But in the bottom of the fourth inning, the White Sox score 3 times. Here, Dan Pasqua belts a double to left center field, scoring Ivan Calderon. Chicago led 2-1. RBI number 48 for Pasqua. Then later in the bottom of the fourth inning, Carlton Fisk got the plate facing Kirk McCaskill. Watch this fan. He falls out of the stands. Ouch, that must have hurt. Then later in the bottom of the fourth inning, Scott Fletcher with the big hit of the game. Here he grounds a single to right field, scoring Dan Pasqua and Frank Thomas. Chicago led 4-1 after this 2-run single. RBIs number 37 and 38 for Fletcher. Then in the top of the sixth inning, remember Lee Stevens from the top of the second inning? Yes, he throws his bat once again. This time the bat lands in the stands. There was a delay in the game because of this incident. That's Alex Fernandez and Carlton Fisk of the White Sox looking on. Lee Stevens got the bat back that flew into the crowd. This is another bat that Stevens gave these fans, but it seems there's a little disagreement about who would get the bat. All right, a little boy gets the bat. What a souvenir from this game. The two men shake hands and the game goes on. We move now to the bottom of the seventh inning. This is Alex Fernandez. He would be the winner in this ball game. Here he strikes out Lance Parrish. Fernandez improves his record to 2-1. He went 8 innings, allowing only 7 hits, 2 runs, and striking out 6. Then in the top of the ninth inning, Bobby Thigpen gets his 42nd save. Here Donnie Hill grounds into a game-ending double play. The White Sox win 4-2. Alex Fernandez is the winner. He's 2-1. Kirk McCaskill picks up the loss. He's 9-9.